Hey, this is Sid. I'm with Lucky Lady Quilt Co. And this week I'm going to be making a custom order. I had someone reach out asking if I could make them a duck canvas vest. I only had 3 duck canvas fabric options. Unfortunately, they wanted to use 2, so I'll be using the navy and the mint. I am going to use the navy for the bottom half of the vest, and then I had asked them what kind of design they were looking for, and they said they wanted checkers. And I love checkers, all things checkers, so I'm really excited to make this one. But the top half is going to be the checkers in the mint and the navy color. The only hurdle that I have is that I have run out of shearling fabric. So I had ordered it at the beginning of the month, and it's been in transit for at least 3 weeks now. And so I really hope it gets here. I hope it's just not lost in the world, but if it doesn't arrive on time or arrive in the next week or so, I'm gonna have to find an alternative, which I don't want to, but it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll arrive. But other than that, I'm using cotton batting, and then I'm gonna make my own bias tape using the navy duck canvas fabric. I already have the snap buttons, so I'm pretty much ready to get started on everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and first work on the duck canvas, cut out the pattern, and make the checkered design. So yeah, I think it's in a good place. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, so I finally cut out the strips, and I cut each strip so it's 4 inches wide, and then I sewed 4 of them together, and this is going to be the front and the back checkered pattern for the vest. I might have enough to do the collar, but I might have to do the same step for at least 2 rows for at least the collar of the vest. So we'll see. Hopefully I have enough. But now all I'm going to do is press open the seams, and it should be pretty easy. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. so I ended up making, let's see, five strips of bias tape, and I'm gonna use, I think one or two will be enough for the pockets, and then 3 will be enough for the body, and I might need extra for the armholes. So I'm hoping I don't, but I think this will be enough. I'll just have to sew them all together, but they're made, so that's a good start. But yeah, I ended up cutting out the pattern for the pockets and the front and back bodice and the collar. I did end up needing to make extra checkers for the collar since I didn't initially sew enough of the strips together, but it was pretty quick. And then let's see, I'm gonna add my little Lucky Lady Quilt Co patch to the front pocket. I need to sew the lining, batting, and the duck canvas together. I think I'm gonna serge and then add the bias tape. But yeah, I think that's it for the pockets. So almost there. And then let's see here. Okay, so I cut out the batting, and the front and back pieces look like this. I'm excited to see how this one comes together, but I'm still waiting on the shearling fabric. So it looks like it's now out of customs because it was coming from China. There's hope. But instead of worrying about the shearling fabric, I'm just going to let's see here, lay out the batting and the duck canvas, and then I'm gonna serge around the edges, and from there I'll be able to add like a little thread design on the checkered part of the back and front pieces. But yeah, it should be pretty quick, and hopefully when I'm done with all of that, the shearling will arrive in the mail. But I do have to say, I just absolutely love working with duck canvas. It is so nice, especially for when you're working with the seams. You can just like press them open and then they stick, as opposed to working with like satin or different fabrics where you really have to press them. I press these anyway just to make sure that they stay flat, but duck canvas is so easy, and I recommend everyone to try a sewing project with duck canvas. It is so satisfying, and it also makes you feel like you are a really great sewist. So or what would it be? Yeah. Okay, so all I have to do is pin the edges for each piece, and then I can get started on the serger. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So new day, and sadly the shearling fabric is still missing in action. Last I checked, it's actually still at customs. I totally thought it had left customs, but I think it's still being reviewed. So at least they gave me an update. But maybe tomorrow they'll at least send it out. I'm still hopeful. But what I was able to get done thus far is I added the stitching for the duck canvas and the batting, and then the shearling will be the reverse lining on the inside. But I put on the pockets. I also added the binding to the pocket, and then the Lucky Lady Quilt Co logo. But I added jersey knit fabric on the inside of the pockets, so they're soft, and I think that's definitely one of my favorite fabrics to put as the liner and then inside of pockets. So, but now I'm gonna sew the front pieces and the back piece together, add the collar, and then I'll serge the seams just for a little bit extra protection, I guess, from ripping. And then, gosh, oh, I did, what did I do? I had actually used an entire strip for each pocket, and I was hoping that each pocket would only need one. So I am almost positive that I'm gonna have to make 2 more of these for the armholes, but yeah, no, I will. I might as well do it while I'm waiting on the shearling. So I'm gonna make 2 more strips of bias tape, and then sew all of the duck canvas together, and then I'll be ready to put the lining together once it arrives, and then I can add that to the duck canvas, put on the bias tape or the binding, add the snap buttons, and then I'm done. So we're getting there. But yeah, I will show you what it looks like once the duck canvas has been, all the pieces have been put together. So I'll be back. The shearling finally arrived. I am so excited. I honestly was starting to panic, but it's here, and at least I think this is it. We're gonna find out. The scariest part is opening it. I don't want to cut anything. Oh boy. But it's honestly a smaller package than I thought it would be. So hopefully I got enough, or they got my order right. But I have learned my lesson. I think I'm going to take inventory a bit better, or find local stores that carry the type of shearling that I like working with. Oh my gosh, they like really package this. But it did come from China, so. Yay! Okay, it's the color I like. It's everything I want it to be. Ta-da! Okay, cool. I'm a happy lady. Okay, great. So now I can finally finish the shearling lining, and then finish the coat and send it off to Moab. So I will get started on that. done. Ta-da! Here's the front and the back. And then the shearling lining on the inside. I already added the buttons. I have to say the buttons are by far my least favorite part of the entire process. It's so daunting putting a hole in the fabric in hopes that it lines up perfectly on both sides. So I think it's just like all anxiety. But anywho, they line up, all looks good. This is what it looks like. Oh, there we go. All right, front and the back. So yeah, now I'm gonna send it off to its new home. So I think I have everything I need to package up and send this vest off to Moab. So first things first, I already inspected it, so I know that it's at least in great shape. All the threads have been trimmed, except for this little guy, which I need to get. Yeah, everything else looks good. Okay, so I just gotta get all the little fuzzies off. Let's see. All right, gotta do the back. Do the, I guess the shearling doesn't really need it, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay, great. And then I tested the buttons, and they're all pretty sturdy. They're all on there pretty well. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna button it up. Okay, so I think it's in a good spot to go to its new home. Whew, I don't know why I always get a little nervous when I send them off, but this one is everything I wanted it to be, so I feel happy with it, or I'm happy with it. Great. Okay, I will put that to the side, and now I get to, I go to the post office and do the, what are they called? It's like the standard shipping box where I just pay like a flat fee, and it only ends up, I think for the size that my coats and vests fit into, it ends up being $30-ish. So yeah, but I do love that it's fixed. So I know what to expect every time, and I can fit pretty much all of my coats and vests into the biggest size box. So I will keep doing it. Right. It did take me a little while to figure out shipping though. That was a learning curve. All right, I don't want any water or moisture getting in through the cracks, so I'm gonna make sure it's all wrapped really nicely. I'll probably do another strips at the very end. All right. Ta-da! Okay, and I'm trying to avoid using plastic anything for my shipping, and so it is a risk in the case that the box is just like soaking wet and it ends up getting the vest wet, but I think that's not super common, and I'm gonna tape it well enough that at least like nothing's gonna be getting through the openings or the cracks, and then I think it will be fine. But anywho, my effort to avoid plastic in packaging. So instead, I just use tissue paper, and I'm gonna wrap the vest in this, make it look nice. All right. Oh, I did get the kind of short kind. I normally like to get the really long one so I can like wrap the vest in it, but this will do. It's fine. Let's wrap it this way. Okay. Perfect. Put in a few more tissues. All right, and then lastly, I gotta put in a little thank you note since I'm just so happy that they're supporting my little small handmade business. So I ended up finding, I haven't made any like branded thank you notes yet. And so I was traveling and found these morning desert postcards. I don't know if you've ever seen this brand before, but oh my God, I just love them. They are so cute and fun. And it kind of goes with the Utah theme, but it comes with like 10 different, I think there's 10 different cards. No, sorry, 6 different desert scenes. So I kind of just pick and choose whatever one I'm feeling. But yeah, I think, what one do I want? I think out of all of these, so this one's going to Moab, so it's gonna be in a desert, but Moab needs a little bit of vegetation, so I think I'm gonna send this one. This is my favorite. All right, so I can write my little note. All right, great. Perfect. Okay, so now that I have written my little thank you note, I'm just gonna pop it on top, and then I will package this back up and send it off to the post office. And now it's out in the world. I can't believe that it's all done. I honestly didn't think the shearling would arrive, but I'm really happy it did. Other than that, I think everything else went really smoothly. I was happy to use the duck canvas fabric that I already had, and same with the batting. I think now that the weather is warming up, I'm gonna go back to making a bit more warm weather clothes. So we'll see how that goes. But for custom projects, I loved making this one. I love making all of them. But I'm just so grateful that they wanted to support my little handmade business, and I hope that this vest fits well. I took the size into, or I took their size that they wanted, so hopefully all is well. And the pattern that I used does end up being pretty accommodating for various sizes, so I think it will be fine. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna go send this off in the mail, and thanks for wrapping and making a custom vest with me. But yeah, I hopefully will see you in the next video. Thanks again for hanging out.